Okie doke. Shout out to my dog. Anyway.
How's it going, YouTube? It's your boy, CyYu.
And today, we're reacting to Keeping Up with Star Rail and Anaxa. Anyway, that's right. The time is here. Anaxa is about to come out. So let's watch. I still haven't finished the 3.2 story, but we'll get to it eventually. Anyway, if you guys want to watch these reactions live, make sure to go to twitch.tv/CyYuVtuber and subscribe here on CyYuVods. We're actually really close to 500,000 subs. We're at, last time I checked, 480, which, let's go, dude. 481,000 subs. So let's go. We could totally make it to 500 by the summer. Anyway, without further ado, let's watch.
The Grove of Epiphany, where knowledge flourishes and philosophers are born.
Alchemy.
A place famed throughout Amphorius for producing countless sages in the past. Among them, one sage uses himself as a sword when questioning reason, rending falsehoods, and igniting the flames of truth. The reality of this world is unveiled through him. On this episode of Keeping Up with Star Rail, let us approach one of the 7 sages of the Grove of Epiphany, Anaxa, the Demise Scholar.
It looks so cool. Also, Sam, to answer your question, it's whenever I click on another window. It's for some weird reason it does that. I don't know why, but it does. But I have noticed it.
We've invited Miss Hyacinth, head healer of the Twilight Courtyard and teaching assistant at the Grove of Epiphany, as our guest today. I should be taking my hat off to an esteemed lady, but today's a bit difficult.
Oh?
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure. You know, I really love this show, and especially you, Birdie.
Aww.
Birdie? What an adorable nickname.
Oh, look at Albert
When did I get so
Bush.
famous in Amphorius?
Birdie, you look so soft.
Oh my god, wait. What the fuck? The title? Why is it? Did they Photoshop that? What's going on here? Also, his head is a little bit... What's going on? Gunner Trap Pinch. Thank you for the sub.
Don't say that word to me. Are you after my feathers as well? They've already plucked my most precious feather.
Damn.
Oh, but that's a long story. Let's get
I
down
love
to
the
this for now.
consistency of this plot.
Having obtained a valuable piece of teaching material, let's see exactly how Professor Anaxa oversees his classes. Anaxa is a wind character following the path of erudition. He is gentle in nature and stern as a teacher. But if you really don't understand, he can also beat some sense into you. A little bit. When using basic attack, Anaxa deals wind damage to one designated enemy. The trait's roaming signifier allows Anaxa's basic attack to additionally regenerate some energy. When using his skill, Anaxa firstly deals wind damage to one designated enemy, followed by multiple instances of wind damage to one random enemy unit. These instances will prioritize bouncing to enemy targets that have not yet been hit by his skill. It's worth mentioning that his skill will deal more damage when more enemies are on the field.
Hell yeah.
I thought Professor Anaxa was just an elegant scholar.
I just love Anaxa's design so much.
I didn't expect him to be such an expert in combat.
The professor believes that the pursuit of knowledge shouldn't be limited to books. Only experimentation can generate the truth.
I know it's all about powerful persuasion.
True. The professor always persuades opponents as gently as a breeze caressing the face.
After Anaxa hits an enemy target once, he applies one weakness of a random type to the target for several turns. When a target possesses enough weaknesses, it will enter the qualitative disclosure state, and Anaxa will deal more damage to it. After Anaxa uses his basic attack or skill on targets in qualitative disclosure, he will additionally use one instance of his skill on the target without consuming skill points.
What the fuck?
It's worth noting that the trace roaming signifier causes Anaxa to immediately regenerate energy if there are no enemy targets in qualitative disclosure at the start of a turn.
Huh.
Amphorius is crawling with dangers under the cover of the Black Tide. But even the most fearsome enemies are just alchemical components for Professor Anaxa.
Dude,
that's an honor.
I need to see more. I did hear a bunch of people
enemy.
say like Anaxa just helps out Jingyuan even more, but I gotta see
The
it.
trace Imperative Hiatus will provide different buffs depending on how many erudition characters are in the allied
No way, dog!
team. Example. When Anaxa is the only erudition character in the team, his own crit damage becomes enhanced. If at least one other erudition character is present in the team alongside Anaxa, all allies' damage is boosted.
Bro, the CyYuVtuber just keeps winning!
When he uses his ultimate, Anaxa inflicts sublimation on all enemies. Well, in sublimation, 7 weakness types will be implanted in enemies simultaneously, lasting until the start of the enemy's turn.
So Anaxa, CyYuVtuber, Anaxa, Sunday,
also deal wind damage
and
to
then
all
maybe
enemies.
a healer?
That's impressive. Still, for a scholar to be armed with such a deadly weapon.
That's a teaching
I don't want to
tool,
split
Birdie.
up
It
him
makes
and
sense for a teacher
Treeby,
to
but
carry
like we
their
need a
tools with
shield
them.
or something.
When using his technique, Anaxa inflicts terrified on enemies within a set radius, causing them to flee from him like the cowards they are.
God.
Actively attacking
Link
terrified
shot? I do
enemies
have
will be
link shot build.
considered entering battle via attacking a weakness. After
What?
entering battle, every enemy target will be inflicted with the weakness of the attacker's type for several turns.
For several
I wonder if
turns.
Professor Anaxa is as forceful when hunting down students who skipped his class.
So wait. Does that mean, so if Anaxa uses an ability, and then does that mean that it's a hold on. I need to hear that again. A random, after entering battle, every enemy target will be inflicted with the weakness of the attack. Okay, that is what I thought. That's crazy.
Inflicted with the weakness of the attacker's type for several
That's actually
turns.
nuts. Treeby and Ghost is
I wonder if
stainless.
Professor
God.
Anaxa is as forceful when hunting down students who skipped his class.
Silverwolf found dead
well,
in a ditch.
they're running for their
God!
lives, for sure.
No, he's over there. I'm not Anaxa. He's over there.
Sure.
Okay, let's sum it up. A truly great scholar never seeks breakthroughs. They create breakthroughs. Professor Anaxa is good at adding weaknesses to enemies and judging them accordingly. All of his attacks can add new weaknesses to the enemy. And after an enemy has enough weaknesses, his damage dealt to the enemy further increases, as well as triggering one extra skill. He has frequent AoE attacks and has the ability to implant many weaknesses in enemies, allowing him to support his team in managing different kinds of battles.
Damn.
All right, Professor Anaxa may be strict, but it's still an honor for students to study under him. Lo and behold, we've got a group coming to see what kind of test the professor has prepared for them. Ooh, this test has an amazing lineup of examiners, including
Damn.
a famous,
I mean, the
unparalleled,
Herda.
and absolutely inimitable
I mean,
lady.
obviously, this is a really good team, but I'm trying to
The
think of
answer
the
is clear.
best
The
team for
examiners need to
CyYuVtuber.
figure
You
out
know what
how
I mean?
to stack this true genius's interpretation as soon as possible.
God,
As for
that's
how,
insane.
let's watch Professor Anaxa's performance. As they enter battle, the enemy already has a set stack of interpretation on them, despite already making trouble for the examiners. But there aren't enough interpretation stacks.
All right, real quick, because I saw this because it's unrelated whatsoever. If you had to choose a goth girl from the shows, where you pick Shigo? It's Shigo. The fuck? It's Shigo. Because I'm pretty sure Shigo's like the only adult. I'd say Raven from X-Men. What the fuck did you just say? Raven from X-Men. You can't read. I was literally reading the response that someone said, Simba. What Chaos Zin said. That's what I was reading. Anyway, yeah, it's Shigo.
Thankfully, Professor Anaxa is making his move.
No,
He uses his
Raven's
ultimate
from
to
Disney
inflict
Channel, sweetie.
sublimation on all enemies, adding 7 weakness types to them and
I'm sorry, what did you just say?
stack step. Thankfully, Professor Anaxa is making his move. He uses his ultimate to inflict sublimation on all enemies, adding 7 weakness types to them and also inflicting.
Is that what he does? Oh no, Silverwolf, you don't matter at all.
qualitative disclosure. Professor Anaxa shows no mercy while
7
facing enemies in
weaknesses?
qualitative disclosure, following with his skill after using his basic attack. This string of attacks
Brother
applies
Bear,
many stacks
do
of
I even
interpretation
need
on
a
the enemies,
healer? I'll kill them
making the
so
most
fast
beautiful
in the
member
game
of the Gene Society
they'll
hit
be
even
irrelevant.
harder. Supported by Anaxa's
Holy
traits, the lady's
crap.
intellect is numerically immeasurable. Sends off the bad students by saying, "Hear me out." However, these students refuse to
Hear me
give up
out.
and insist on a retest. If we're patient in their teaching, the examiners decide to grant their request. However,
Not at,
there are
like,
still
normal
some
speed.
weaknesses on
Hey,
the
can we double
students,
speed this,
so
please?
qualitative disclosure isn't gone yet. Professor Anaxa uses his skill and triggers his talent's additional effect, once again adding many stacks of interpretation to help the omniscient and omnipotent true genius. When interpretation reaches 42
In my
stacks,
opinion, I think
the
Treebee's
radiantly
Sunday is better than
beautiful
Anaxa, as
lady once
Treebee's
again
E1 provides
says,
more value than
"Hear me
Anaxa's
out."
education buff, while Sunday's Jing-Yuan's best in slot.
The
True.
ultimate truth of the universe is revealed here, and the students are
I mean,
no
hey, if
match for the
anything,
examiners'
Anaxa's
incessant
just great for
questions.
the Herda.
Ha, ding, ding! Exams over.
I need multiple teams
Hand in
anyway
your
for
papers.
completing memory of chaos.
And that's a wrap for this episode.
God, still
I have a
though.
request. Miss Harrison, I've heard
No.
you've been a doctor at the Grove of Epiphany for many years. Can you
No.
treat my hair loss, perchance?
Oh my poor Albert, bald. They made you bald.
Birdie, why are you bald?
It's all because of your prophecy. The greatest threads are hidden in the hall where thousands laugh with joy. Turns out the greatest threads were on my head all along.
Don't worry, I see this all the time. After all, the Grove of Epiphany is full of brilliant minds.
Damn.
And with everyone overworking their brains on research, hair loss is an everyday occurrence.
Is that the true cost of knowledge?
Yup.
Take this, ingest it, and apply externally.
Wait, does that mean Professor Anaxa is also?
They don't tell
Uh,
him. Damn. They said Professor Anaxa was balding. That's crazy. Anyway, that's this Keeping Up with Star Rail. Are you pulling for Anaxa? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I obviously pull for all the characters, but I also build most of the characters. But let me know your thoughts. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Check us out live on twitch.tv/CyYuVtuber. And we will see you in the next one. See ya.